About another minute or so for everyone to get in and take a watch look. I know we say we're starting at 3, and it is about the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get at it. So I know I haven't been with you in a few weeks. There's a lot going on, and just wanted to revisit some of the topics and really make sure that I'm coming in with something valuable for you. Well, we're only a few weeks until the end of the year, and then we are going to start 2024. I mean, are you ready? Are you daunted by it? Are you like, oh no, the year just went so fast. I'm not ready to do anything. Well, what we're going to do, right? We kind of have to just jump in, tackle it, hook, line, and sinker, and just kind of go for it. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, especially in this current economy that we're in, and where it's like you go to the store and you open up your wallet, you feel like you spent your whole check, and what did you get? I mean, I went to get some items for a dip that I wanted to make, and I was just waiting for this dip, and I she told me how much I had, but I spent, and I looked at her and I went, "Excuse me?" I mean, I'm like, "Wait a minute, huh?" Because it was just like where I mean, I could count on one hand how many items I bought, and I'm like, "There's no way that this should have cost that much." And um, what I realize is that everybody's facing something. And what I wanted to be able to encourage you on your finances, your financial diet, how you manage your money, what you do with it is a diet. And as we know, there's Weight Watchers and there's Jenny Craig and there's surgery. There's multiple ways that people who want to lose weight will go through for them to be able to do that. There's a myriad of opportunities and situations and diets and tactics and tools to help you get to that desired goal. Well, the same thing is true for finances. And I think what we have to remember is that not all of us are going to be ready, willing, and able to do what others are going to do. Not many are willing to take the risk, and that is okay because you have to do what's comfortable for you. Some people are like, look, I know I'm not going to stop eating. So, excuse me. The best thing to do is just go and get the surgery because I just need to work through some things and it's not going to happen. I want to get this done. I've been battling too long. And others might say, you know what? I'm gonna do something because I'm just not doing this and I'm not going through surgery. I don't want that recovery time. I don't have the ability to have the recovery time. There are many reasons, People have tried different things. There's apps you can use. And I think that what is it? It's tapping into your why. It's tapping into what's the real issue that determines it. And depending on where people are, determines what they're going to do. And the same thing is with your finances. And I know a lot of people say if somebody doesn't have it and they're not rolling in dough, well, sometimes it's about starting over. And you've learned from your mistakes. And what are those mistakes that you learned from? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. One, learn from your mistakes and then want it. I mean, how bad do you want to be a level of financially independent to where you're not worried about whether or not you can take vacation? You can just take vacation because you know your bills are paid. You've done what you needed to do. And the one thing that I wanted to address is some of the myth. And that the myth is I don't make enough money to save. You make enough money to save. What we have to go to do is reduce your debt. And I'm not saying that that's going to be a comfortable decision. I'm not saying that that's not going to cost you something. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's a decision because you look at the big picture. Is that what is the greater result if you don't? So if you don't get to where you have at least $1,000 in the bank or you have at least 500 in the bank for an emergency, you're just creating a perpetual cycle. And I know a lot of people who've gotten caught up in the loan game. I'm just going to get a loan. And there's many people that are willing to give you a loan at 30, 40% interest. Like you're looking at this going, you got to be kidding. And I work with people, and I've worked with people who've done that before. And it's like, whoa, because they're in the moment and they make that payment look really good. And so they jump and do it. They jump and do it. But people do it with the payday loans, whatever, instead of coming back to the table and looking at the situation and go, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I can't look for a quick fix. I have to fix what my situation is. And that thing is, do I have enough money? Have I debted myself out? Meaning I've gone through these loans, I've done this, I've done that, and now I have all these payments that I thought that I could afford, but I didn't know I was going to get sick, and I didn't know this was going to happen, and now it looked good, but I didn't sit down with all of my other outgoing to see what was going on. So you have to have a budget. And a budget is what? It's a list of all of your expenses. Now, there's a myriad of ways to do this. There's a monthly budget, there's a paycheck budget, how you do it. But what is the way that you're going to track your monies, your spending first? Okay. So, one, get a budget. Write down your fixed expenses. Your fixed expenses are like your car note. You got to pay rent because you need a house, right? But you got to pay the car insurance, or you can't drive your car because you might get a ticket and then it might take your car. Priority. So you kind of have to go through and then bite the bullet on some things. Printing out your bank statements at the end of your bank statement period and look at what you're spending in a 30-day period. So write down all of your fixed expenses, your rent, your gas, your electric, your car insurance, things that you just cannot live without. Food is variable because food, you can go to food pantries, you can change your diet to where maybe you're eating just, it might be a beans and weenies, it might be a ramen noodle week, it might be a peanut butter and jelly week. The point is that it's a variable, and you can control that, but you really can't control gas bill, electric bill. It's what you use. You can control it in that you don't want to leave your lights on all the time, but sometimes you just don't want to be in a dark house. So I definitely say do that, but we have to get rid of the myth that you don't have enough to save. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I may not be able to do, and I'm not advocating not paying your bill, so don't think that, but you have to create that space, because if anything happens, like you need a tire or you need something, you don't want to run and go get a payday loan. So you want to make sure that, you know what, no matter what happens, if my kids need medicine, or I need to, go pay for a doctor bill, I need to have $50 in the bank. I need to have $100. So the goal is, the other companies they're not going to give you that money. So you want to put that money aside for yourself. So it's just a matter of, okay, this is not a McDonald's week because I had to put $5. The issue is $5. It's $3. It's $25. It's $10. It's not the amount, but it's the discipline in doing it. So it's a decision. Your financial diet, your financial freedom, your financial situation, your financial success is literally up to you. And so once you have your budget, and now you have your fixed expenses, and now you're committed to just saving, you're committed to okay, I got $5 today, so I could do $5. But here's the thing, over a period of time, that $5 is going to add up. And as you see it grow, you're getting yourself a lot closer to that financial decision. And we have tax season coming up. Many people are waiting. Oh, I'm waiting. They're already waiting. Started in October. People were, oh my God, I got to do my taxes. When I get my taxes, I'm going to do this. People are already living for the future. That's not the idea that we want to follow, is living for the future. We want to make sure that before we do the extras, before we do the fun things, before we do the gotta do's. I call them the gotta do's. I gotta do this before I can do that, and everything else becomes a luxury, and you can enjoy it more. You can enjoy getting your nails done and your hair done and going to the movies when you know all of your bills are paid, that you're caught up, that you're not robbing from Peter to pay Paul. You have to call and find out if there's any program that you may qualify for. So you can't do it. You have to make a way to do it. Now, if you put yourself in a bunch of debt, because of payday loans and these internet loans that charge like 35-40%. I used to do collections for people for those kind of companies, so that's how I know. So now you got to backtrack. So now you may have to go out and get another job. Now I know there's a lot of talk on internet. Well, I shouldn't have to do that. I should just be able. But you have to look at your situation. You have to look at your skill sets. You have to look at what do you bring to the table. You have to look at what are your goals and what do you want to accomplish in your life, because your life isn't somebody else's, and somebody else may be willing to save or take different risks than you do, or they may not want to go on vacation every other month like you do. They may want to be footloose. They may not want to be footloose and fancy free. You may want to. So your financial diet needs to fit the lifestyle that you want. And until you can get there, then sometimes you have to clink it. You have to hold it down. You have to go, nope, I'm going for a goal. And then you have to do that, set a goal. So that once you have your fixed expenses and you know your variable expenses, now you know, okay, after I get paid, I got $20 left. Well, I know I'm going to save $5. So now I have $15 left. Am I going to invest it? Am I going to put all 15 in my spending account? Or am I going to just say I'm going to put it in my emergency account? Oh, if it's not enough to do what I need to do, maybe I need to look at increasing my income. So you have to, the goal of this, the point of this, is that your financial decisions, your financial diet is completely up to you. And you can be, do, and have everything that you desire to have within reason, if for the at the willingness that you are to sacrifice to get there. When I was a mortgage lender, I didn't tell people what they had to eliminate, but I said you had to eliminate something, because you can't keep going the way that you want to go. You want to plan for later but live for now, but you don't want to do that to where you have nothing for later. That way you can look at building generational wealth. And generational wealth is not how much you make, it's how much you save. Wealthiness is based on a decision to discipline oneself. It's a decision to say, this is what I have, and this is the amount of time that I have. So I don't get any more time, so I have to use what I have and manage those two well. So maybe you have enough time. You're a really good writer that you can do something that can make that extra money, but then that extra money needs to have a target. That extra money is what? It's for a rainy day. It's for my emergency fund. It's for my vacation. It's for my kids. It should be targeted, because once your money is targeted, there's a guy that talks about tell your money where to go. Okay. Your money says a lot about you, where you spend it. A lot of time we say, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. And then we look at our bank account and go, I probably could have not gone to McDonald's those 3 times. If we would have just eliminate the latte, or eliminate going to McDonald's or fast food or out drinking or whatever your thing is, for a month, for 2 or 3 days, and save that money and then watch it grow. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is look for bank accounts that are giving high interest rates, or higher than 0.001 interest rates for having a direct deposit. There are a number of internet banks that are out there that will provide for you a link, not a link, but a higher interest rate. It may be 5%, maybe 4%, maybe 3%. The rates fluctuate that they're giving you. These are things you want to do. It may not sound like a lot, but of compounding over 12 months, 3 months, 6 months is going to make a difference. Because I want you all to be financially free. I want you all to know that life is a decision, and where you are, you can change it. You don't have to stay where you are. You can move on. You can find a number of different budgeting tools. I use our YNAB, is really good. You Need a Budget is excellent. SoFi Bank is another one that does really well. You can break out your money into vaults so that you can see how your savings is going. The point is that it's a financial diet, and you have to determine the diet that is right for you. Whether you're going to use the avalanche method or the snowball method, whether you're going to work a second job, whether you're going to just work overtime on your job. Think outside the box. What can you do? And then start targeting those goals. The point is to do something and do not believe that you can't, and do not allow your situation to overwhelm you. So that's all that I have for you today. Your financial diet. This is Life. It's Only a Decision. I am Dawn Marie Alexander Borthico, your uncommon voice. And I hope to talk to you guys later on next week. And I'm going to bring you with some great information. And also feel free to put your information in the chat. Let me know what you're interested in. What do you want to know more about? Where are your struggles that you would say, hey, you know what? I want to be able to express myself here and do better in this particular area? Or how do I learn more about conflict? Or how do I communicate better? How can we help you here at An Uncommon Voice really be able to release the uniqueness on the inside of you to help you become not only great, but to become exceptional? I hope you're having a great day. I look forward to speaking with you guys next week. Bye-bye.